It is morning time, and I'm at the park again, going for my walk. I like to do this first thing in the morning, early, so that I can start my day out right. Okay, so you guys, whatever y'all going through, even if you ain't going through nothing, make sure that you put some time aside, whether it's early in the morning or in the midday or in the afternoon or the evening, to go for a walk, get some fresh, get a little exercise. Walking ain't gonna kill nobody. Now, if you have a disability where you can't do that, then at least sit outside. But you guys, everybody needs a little exercise, and walking is exercise regardless, okay? It's just low intensity exercise. It gets the blood circulating, blood flowing. You get to breathe in some good fresh air. If you out there first thing in the morning, it's the best air. And it just allow you time to think, allow you time to process, allow you time to, connect spiritually and reflect on what's going on in your life. And everybody could stand to do that. So right now, this is not even a spiritual word or a spiritual message. I'm just putting this out here just because it's real talk. And I want people to, you know that, you know, relate to what a lot of you guys be going through. Many of you that have gotten, tarot readings from me. Some of you actually know me personally that are following my channel. I can relate to you guys. I think people think that tarot readers or psychics or whatever don't be going through the same stuff, but we be going through the same stuff. So any of y'all that's out there, if you got people in your life that are taking you for granted, mistreating you, behaving passively aggressively, or confusing you in any form, you know, or just, giving you hassles, just let them go. Let them go and play themselves. You know what I'm saying? And I'm saying that because some of you is going to be family members, some of you is going to be friends, some of you is going to be acquaintances, some of you is going to be people that you are dating or interested in dating, somebody you was involved with. And you know what? You don't really have to put up with anybody's nonsense. You just don't. If somebody wants to make you the bad guy or the villain, they don't see anything good in you, if they want to act like, oh, you're not good enough, um, or supposedly you're not compatible, if they got every excuse under the sun, they're too busy, or they're trying to make it seem like you're expecting too much from them, when you know realistically you're not, you're just only expecting what anybody would expect in a situation. You expect reciprocity, meaning equal give and take, showing equal interest, or showing equal mutual feelings, or showing mutual respect, or taking the interest, the one to spend time with you, hang out with you, whatever it is, or taking the time to hear you and hear your concerns and stuff like that. You know, if somebody is disregarding you, no matter how they're disregarding you in some form, whether they're not considering your ideas, or they're not considering, like I said, taking you seriously in any form, take that as a real message to you that this is a no-go for you. It's not a doable situation. It's not for you. Just let them be. Let them go. Especially if somebody ghosts you. Now, ain't nobody been ghosting me. Um, but you know, I've let me tell you something. This past year, I have had to let some people go, like for real. You know what I'm saying? Family, friends that I thought were real friends, but they really weren't. They were just self-serving. Um, and once upon a time, they were friends, but they returned to ways that were very self-serving and behaving in ways that real friends just don't do. You know, um, same thing I said. I had to let somebody else close to my family go because they were no longer treating me like family, and they hadn't been for a while. They were treating me like an enemy, and they were making themselves to be some sort of victim of things that they don't even know what they were a victim of. And the thing is, they weren't a victim of anything at all. They just were very narcissistic, very self centered, very self serving. The way they thought was me, 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 me. And they only did things for show, only for show. They couldn't even be, they couldn't even be honest, about their ways. Because once again, people like to tell themselves, "Oh, I'm such a good person. I'm such a nice person. I'm the good person. I'm the good guy. I'm the. Be careful, people who give themselves so much credit. Because the thing about it is, if you're really a good person, if you're really a good guy, if you're really nice, if you're really sweet and thoughtful and all these things, if you're actually supportive, you don't have to state it. You don't have to say anything. You don't have to tell nobody. I mean, it's one thing to, you know, communicate, hey, I'm here for you, or hey, I really am this kind of person, but you have to keep repeating it over and over again. Something's up. A person should know that this is who you are, what you are, how you are, what you say you are. And if they don't, then that means either you haven't shown the character that you really claim you are, because maybe you really aren't what you think you are, or that person just really haven't observed, or they haven't taken the time to really care that you're a nice person or that you're sweet or anything else. Nonetheless, you know, lovers, friends, if you're in a situationship, friends of benefits, dating somebody, interested in somebody, if somebody is determined to automatically judge you up front, they ain't willing to give you a chance, they're not really taking you seriously, or they're not reciprocating the same feelings in return or the same interest in return or anything that you're looking for to get out of the situation, and you're just not seeing it, please just walk away, let them go. Because at the end of the day, it's just a disaster waiting to happen. And people, when they're really forthcoming, when they're really on the right track, um, when they're really all the positive things that they should be, you don't have to guess, you don't have to wonder, you don't have to go through changes with them, you don't have to fight and argue with them, you don't have to do none of that, because they're going to act like a good, decent person with you, simply because that's truly what they want to be towards you, you know. Now, forget about the kind of people who, they're out there um, gaslighting you or trolling you for a reaction. That's something else you gotta be careful. Don't let anybody make you think you're mistaken for seeing their character, and let them try to paint the picture that no, you're the bad guy. No, you're the one that's nasty and uh, upsetting, and you're the one who brings all the hassle because you start stuff with them and yada yada and all that other crazy crap. Let me tell you something. There are some people who they will play games with you, passive aggressive games. manipulative games. They will do everything possible to try to start arguments with you, to try to start fights with you, to try to start any kind of disagreements or to create or cause conflict just so they can say, yeah, I knew it, you're the problem. Yeah, I knew it, you got issues. Yeah, I knew it, you're argumentative. I don't want to deal with somebody like that. Yeah, you're this or you're that. Anything to say something negative. And it's unfortunate that there are morons in this world that are, out there playing games with people. But learn to observe and see it when you see it. You have people out here that instead of having the guts to tell you, hey, I'm not interested anymore, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to waste your time, and things like that, they won't do that. They don't have the guts, they're cowards. Instead, they will sit there and play these passive aggressive games. They'll troll you, gaslight you, do little silly things to try to turn you off, hoping that you lose interest. That's childish, and that's a bunch of game playing. People like that are idiots and morons, and they really don't deserve anything good happening for them. And the truth be told is, those kind of people are the kind of people, they wonder why they can't get somebody that they truly think would be the ideal person for them in their life. And they also wonder why they experience karma so frequently. It's because they're morons. They're a-holes. And whatever energy you put out there is what you get back. And if you see a good person and you don't appreciate them, you're a moron. Okay, it's really that simple. Some people out here really think it's all about them, and they nitpick people. And they will nitpick good people, especially if they feel like they've been blessed with opportunity to get to get a multitude of people interested in them. And what they don't understand is, just because everybody is interested in you, or even a few are interested in you, it don't mean you're all that. It doesn't mean you get your pick of the litter. It doesn't mean you get to nitpick, play games, play the field, or, act like you don't have to appreciate the options that are presented to you, or act like you don't have to take seriously the options presented to you. But some people, they're full of themselves, they're arrogant, they're conceited, they're devil inspired, low vibrational. They don't have any morals and values. They're selfish, self-centered. These are all the same people. They don't do so well, they don't fare so well. Even when it appears like they are, and even when they think, oh, they moving on, they getting somebody else, let me tell you something. Whatever they're prospering off of the backs of hurting others, it will fail. It always will. Even if not right away. Because like I said, whatever energy you put out there, it returns back to you. It returns right back to you as karma. So if you're putting good energy out there, hey, that returns back to you. Maybe not in the form you expect it to, but it returns back. Sometimes it returns back to you in the form you want it to. Other times it returns back to you in more favorable ways that you don't realize is the blessing. So have your mind and hearts open to how the good karma and the good energy you put out there returns back to you. And if you good with your faith and believing in the creator, the divine, God, whatever it is you believe in, then understand this. God will redeem you for every time somebody has wasted your time. For every time somebody didn't take you seriously. For every time somebody ghosted you, trolled you, gaslit you, wasted your time, wasted your energy, used you, played games with you, tried to manipulate you or control you. in any form, at some point, the universe, God steps in and takes control over the situation in ways that you have no clue. So don't lose your hope. Don't lose your, because when somebody does wrong by somebody else and they're insincere and they're doing things only concerned about how they benefit and they don't really care how they affected you, God steps in and the universe steps in and deals with those people to where they don't even see it coming. They don't even know it's going to come until it does. Now, some of them people, they're so self-centered and so narcissistic that when bad stuff happens to them or things don't go their way or they don't get what they want or who they want, it never occurs to them that, hey, this is your karma, man. This is your karma, girl. This is your karma, whoever you are. So it keeps repeating itself and repeating itself until they wake up and realize, oh, you know what? Dang, this is my karma because I didn't do right by this or that person. No one has to accept anybody that they really aren't interested in genuinely. It's like you don't have to accept anybody you're genuinely not interested in. So know this also, you guys. You cannot force someone to like you, love you, or respect you or accept you. You know, I know people like to try, but even if you try, if you see that all efforts have failed to charm someone or to really get on someone's good side or to really, you know, see if there's some real interest there or compatibility there or whatever, and that person is still not interested, they're still closed off, closed-minded, holding out for somebody else, or they're sabotaging. Be careful, I said, people out here, they will sabotage a connection just because they think they don't want it, they think it ain't for them. They're out there looking for a fantasy. They're out there looking for, you know, something unrealistic. You know, they have no clue. That connection could be great, but you can't force anybody to see it if you know, you're the only one who sees it. Sometimes you just have to just understand that all good connections are not going to play out or not meant to. Some people you just have to let them go and let them go play themselves. Maybe they, you know, maybe there's somebody else better for you. Somebody way better. You know, maybe you would have played yourself if you stuck around with them. Who knows? And let's say if they are meant to be, you know, because like I said, a lot of you out here, you believe in twin flames, the divine masculine, divine feminine, and that's something else. You guys are out here blaming karmics and this and that other. How you know you're not the karmic? How you know who you really are in a situation? Everybody wants to believe they're the divine masculine and the divine feminine in the situation, and they don't possibly think that they're the karmic. By the way, the karmic is not the bad guy, you guys. Be careful of listening to all these toxic spiritual channels where they're doing readings about the divine masculine and the divine feminine and twin flames, and they're always dumping on, oh, they're and blaming everything on your connection not working out because of a karmic. Sometimes the karmic energy is not even a person. Sometimes it's just the lesson that you're supposed to go through, because you're supposed to learn something. You're supposed to grow and elevate spiritually no matter what type of soulmate or connection this is. We're here to grow, we're here to learn. If every time you're there looking to blame something or someone for why something didn't work out, you're never going to grow and get the love you truly want. At some point, you know, you guys got to realize that what will be will be. If somebody's truly for you, the universe and the divine will work it out for you guys to come back together. But if you feel like, nah, if this doesn't work out now, that you don't ever want to deal with that person again, I totally understand that, because that's how I feel. because certain people I've been dealing with for quite some time, certain family members, certain friends, a certain kind of lover or whatever. The way I feel about it, same people I've been dealing with over and over again, and I feel mentally, emotionally, spiritually exhausted of them, and I just feel like I can't do it anymore. Because at some point you reach a point in your life where you want peace, and when you start dumping or kicking people out of your life who no longer deserve a place there because they're proving such with their inconsiderate behavior, their insensitive behavior, their lack of empathy for you, their lack of compassion, their lack of interest, their lack of concern about your feelings, and them treating you poorly. At some point you got to let them people go and dump them out. And the sooner you do, because you're tired and you fed up, and at some point you go and get there. Some of you, you're not there yet, but I'm here to tell you, trust me, it's better to let go as soon as you can and just don't return back, or don't let them return back. Unless, and let me say this, ladies, fellas, because the men go through it too. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm trying to take this hot, y'all probably like, what am I looking at now? I'm trying to take this hot sweater off. But I know the men go through it too. But let me tell you guys something. Um, it shouldn't be so hard. It shouldn't be so hard. If somebody wants you, they will go out of the way. And I know this to be true. I know this to be true because somebody I was dealing with, they had a very different attitude in the beginning, you know, and they went out of their way to be agreeable, to be compatible, everything under the sun, just so they can get the opportunity. But you got some people, they will turn around and they will do a whole 180 and flip and change character on you. And then all of a sudden, they're not that nice guy anymore. They're not that nice gal anymore. They're not that nice person anymore. Family members can do this to you, friends can do this to you as well, not just lovers. Okay? So you have to understand, when somebody does a whole 180 on you, they got a problem. It ain't you, it's them. Because there's no need for, if they were really that nice in the first place, for them to turn around and gaslight you, troll you, ghost you, play games with you, villainize you. None of that. It's absolutely unnecessary. A good person, they're just going to be sincere with you. And they're going to try to let you down easy. More than important than anything, if they are really, sometimes people, they don't know what they're looking for. So every now and then you get somebody like that. And you have to learn how to forgive people. They don't always know what they're looking for, and be able to accept, okay, maybe they didn't think you was it. But then there are other situations, if it's somebody who's been resurfacing in and out of your life, no matter if it's a family member, a friend, or a lover, or acquaintance, they know what they're doing at some point. Because if they've done it more than once, you got people out here, they will play on the fact that they feel like, oh, your heart is always going to be open to them. You're always going to accept them back because they're family. Oh, family unconditionally accepts people. Or a lover, they'll know you stuck on them, or you really are in love with them. They know they can always return back, or that's how they feel. You got, like I said, friends who they take for granted that, oh, you're gonna always accept them back. Sometimes friends, family members, lovers will have, they will fall out sometimes, or not always agree and see eye to eye. Friendships, relationships of any kind, family members, whatever, they're not always going to be perfect. They're not. Sometimes you're going to disagree. Sometimes you're going to have your fallouts. But that's not what determines if it's going to work or not. What determines if it's going to work or not is how willing is that other person to work on it when things aren't perfect. What is that person's desire to be agreeable with you? What is that person's desire to work on things with you, meet you eye to eye, level with you? If it's not there on their end, but it's there on your end, then you got a very imbalanced situation. You got somebody who it can't work for that reason. It can't work if somebody just absolutely does not want it to work, and they're trying everything in their fiber being to reject it, reject you, reject the situation, reject the relationship, reject the friendship, reject the family, bond, whatever it is. You got some people, they literally want to play victim and they will create it with anybody who is available. You got some people, they're bored. They're bored or they lonely and they just will seek people just to entertain themselves with and just to, like I said, because they're addicted to drama, they will create the drama. Pay attention to that. If you see somebody, they always looking to seek to argue with somebody, even if it's just people on Facebook that they arguing with about little trivial stuff. You think it's nothing to pay attention to. Trust me, pay attention to it because let me tell you, I saw somebody that I was cool with one time and but I noticed they seem to always and this person might be watching right now and think I'm talking about them. I'm talking about somebody else completely different. That's how vain and narcissists I know they are, but I'm talking about somebody completely different. But I know it's the same thing with them too though. There's some people you'll notice, and this one person for sure I noticed, they seem to always get in arguments with people. And it seemed like they would start the arguments. They were very passive aggressive. But what was more troubling was how people would see how this person would bully other people or how this person would trap people into drama situations with them or this person would start something with somebody and either pick on them or just argue with them for little trivial reasons or for reasons that really it was wrong in the first place. um like they was arguing with women about women's health issues. It's like you're a dude, and it's not like they were a nurse at one point, but it was like that doesn't mean they knew everything about a woman's health issues because a woman, her health issues are also from a personal experience as well. It's going to be different for everybody. You can't just generalize anything. And if you're a man, you should not be arguing with a woman about her health issues, a woman's health issues. Maybe if you're a doctor, but even then, it's just certain things that even a doctor is not going to understand. If you don't have a woman's reproductive system, don't be arguing with her, right? On her health issues. And this guy really was out of line. But what was more troubling is people didn't stand up to this person, you know. And what they didn't understand was when you don't stand up to a person, when you see that they're bullying other people or passive aggressive or they go out of their way to start or create drama with other people, when you don't walk away from people like that, eventually they're going to come for you, is what happens. Eventually they will come for you. So, something else to learn, you guys, is if you see somebody is dramatic, they seem to be addicted to drama, they seem to like to start stuff with people, including you, or they like to um, be so trivial and things like that, be careful because they will bring that same energy eventually to you. When they don't have anybody else to bring the energy to, eventually they will make their way around to you. Or they will, even if they have other people bring the energy to, somehow they'll make their rounds to you because people like that, they make their rounds. Be careful, people like that. Now, for me, I'm not into drama. I'm really not. But I will speak up for myself and I will stand up for myself. Be careful people trying to tell you that because you speak up for yourself or you stand up for yourself and you're not willing to take crap off of people that somehow you're a drama queen or a drama king. Because you got people, they will try to disempower you that way. Don't buy into it. Now, the only time you're a drama queen or drama king is if eventually you just don't walk away from the situation. You just keep sticking it out. No, eventually just walk away. I get you guys, you want to keep trying to give chances to see if something going to work or not. You really don't want to let it go, but at some point just walk away sooner rather than later. Love is not supposed to be hard. Family, real family, if they really care about you, it's not supposed to be that hard. Friends, it's not supposed to be that hard. It's just not. There is a willingness to get along with others, even if you don't believe in or think the same way about different things. Nobody has to be exactly the same or be exactly like or even think the same or do all the same things in order to be compatible or agreeable with each other or to have a good relationship or friendship or family situation. You know what I'm saying? That's the biggest lie that's ever told was, oh, compatibility is based off of what you have in common. If somebody, you could have a million things in common with somebody, but if they're determined that they don't want to give you a chance, they will claim that you have nothing in common with them, and they will look for reasons, they will look for things in you to say, oh, we don't have that in common. And it has nothing to do with you have in common. You have people who, they are complete opposites, and we have all heard the saying, opposites attract. There are people who are complete opposites and they have a great relationship with each other, no matter if it's a friendship, a family relationship, or a lover. It's never an excuse. Oh, we're not compatible. No, if you're not compatible, it's because somebody is not willing to meet the other person halfway and to be agreeable to some extent. Now, you ain't got to go along with something you truly don't believe. So if somebody's into robbing, stealing, killing, doing all kind of crazy stuff, um, you know what I'm saying? You don't have to go along with it. If somebody's into something you're absolutely, truly, and I mean truly not into, you don't have to go along with it just to be agreeable. There are such thing called deal breakers. Know what your deal breakers are. But if somebody has all these ridiculous list of deal breakers and they keep claiming you fit that list of deal breakers, that's somebody who truly they just don't want to give you a chance. And sometimes that person is foolish because they feel like they got other options and they want to play the field. Some people, they just want to use you and then lose you and then try to regain you again when it's convenient for them. Notice the signs, you guys. Pay attention. It's obvious. It's always obvious. It's just that a lot of times people don't want to admit this to themselves, or people don't want to be ready to let go because they be feeling like they're in love, or they feel like they, they're obligated because it's family, or they feel obligated because it's a work situation, or whatever it may be. You do not have to feel obligated to put up with anybody's nonsense, especially if it's causing you to truly lose your peace of mind and you see it's not going anywhere. There's no progress made. That person ain't even trying. It's only you. And if you find yourself losing yourself, I found myself losing myself in different situations with people. Literally. I started acting in ways I normally don't just because I, I was trying to make something work. Either because I felt obligated, because they always tell you, oh, that's your family. You got to make that work. No, you don't. Blood is not always worth it. Sometimes your family is just toxic. Sometimes family members can be toxic, and I'm not talking about my whole family, you guys. I'm just talking about there are people who I know, friends, family, lovers, they were toxic, and I had to cut them out. I got a divorce. I let a family member go that I was really close to because they were just determined to be toxic in my life. They were determined to want to play victim of stuff that they weren't even victim of. They were drama, they were just one of the people that's a drama queen, drama king. And hey, funny thing about it is they not only was taking this energy to me, they was taking it to other people in the family, you know, and even including to one that really, oh my God, they shouldn't have to put up with it because of their age. But God gonna deal with them in their toxic ways. You have to let God deal with people in their toxic ways. And I had to let a couple of friends go that I knew since college, you know? And it wouldn't be the first time I had to let a friend go. I had to let some childhood friends go that I knew since high school. One that I knew since elementary school. A couple of them. Sometimes, sometimes for some people, you got to go and clean out your whole closet of people that you don't associate with and start fresh. Now, for me, I didn't have to go through my whole closet, but I did have to declutter quite a few people out of my life that really, they did not bring good energy. They did not serve the purpose of being a good supportive kind, caring, loving, giving person in my life. If you know you a kind, caring, loving, giving, supportive person, then that's what you deserve in return. And if you got somebody who they always taking from you and they always accusing you of stuff that don't make any sense, they're always using you or mistreating you or taking you for granted or giving you hassles, please walk away. Because you have a lot of people, they will take from you, and then they will turn around the moment you expect anything of them. And then you ain't even expecting anything out of the ordinary or unusual. You're just expecting them to be a real friend to you. You're expecting them to be real family to you. You expect them to have your back, or you expecting them to look out for you. You're expecting them to be concerned for you. You're expecting them to show you love, whatever it is. Something normal that you should be able to experience and receive from that person. They're trying to tell you, nope, you asking too much. But they will take from you all day and all night and take it for granted. You guys let those people go. Let them go. Because when you do, what you will see and feel is a weight lifted off of you. You see your energy clear up, even if it hurts to let them go. Because I can't tell you it won't hurt. It does. I can't tell you you won't miss them. You will. But soon enough, you'll start seeing and feeling like, yeah, you know what? It was the right thing to do to let them go, leave them alone, because they didn't bring the right kind of energy. Especially when you start opening yourself up to people who do start bringing the kind of energy that you want and deserve. Oh, it definitely becomes clear then that, hey, you know, this is what a real friendship should feel like. This is what a real family bond should feel like. Or this is, what a real somebody who actually loves you and care for you. This is how a lover should treat you. Like it'll become clear to you. You'll see it, you'll feel it. But the one thing you'll definitely notice is what you won't miss, which is the negative energy that they brought you. At some point, it's like you really have to care enough about yourself and your own well being to say, you know what, I'm good enough. There's nothing wrong with me. And we're not perfect. Humans are not perfect. You don't have to be perfect to be loved. You don't have to be perfect to be accepted. You don't have to be perfect to be appreciated. The only thing you have to be is know for a fact that you do try to do right by people. You are a good, decent person. You do try. I think some people give themselves too much credit and pat themselves on the back because they're used to yes people being around them. People who will kiss their butt and tell them they're everything great under the sun, and people who they don't have no self-esteem themselves. So they will see certain behaviors in people that they not a big fan of, but they still put up with it, accept it anyway. Some people they want to be accepted so bad. Some people they desperate to put up with anybody. And let me tell you something, ladies and fellas, when it comes to dating situations, be careful of dealing with anybody who keeps letting their exes resurface in and out of their life, or who purposely keep their exes around, talking about their friends. There's no need to keep an ex as a friend. If you keep exes as a friend, 9 times out of 10, you're dealing with them back and forth, or they dealing with you back and forth. And it shouldn't be that way. Once that connection's over with, it should be over with. Because, see, that's messy. And this is the reason why a lot of people keep going through these situations over and over again repeatedly, because you keep letting exes linger around your life. Talking about, well, the relationship didn't work out, but we're still cool. We're still friends. No, let them go. There's no need to still be friends for what? So you can still, get that here and there, but you want to, get some. What is that worth to you when you catch feelings for them again or whatever? And if anything, you're not even teaching them anything. that when they don't treat you the way you deserve to be treated, that you're gone out of their life. A person doesn't learn from that if they can still access you, especially for you know what. See, that's something most people they don't think about. If the relationship didn't work out because you wanted marriage and they didn't, or you wanted to be exclusive and they didn't, you still letting them stick around your life talking about, well, we're just friends, and then letting them get that from time to time, or you think you gonna get that from time to time because oh, you need, you still need to be able to get that from somewhere. It's convenient. You're not teaching them anything, you're not learning anything yourself. And all they will do is continue to carry on the same pattern over and over again. They won't grow, they won't change. And you won't get anything out of it either. One thing I had to learn is I'm telling you, don't let an ex return back. For what? If they're not returning back with something you truly wanted, then why let them return back? Don't even let them return back out of hope. Let's say you wanted marriage, you wanted commitment, and they did not want to give you that commitment. They didn't want to give you that relationship. They didn't want to give you the marriage. They didn't give you whatever it was that you wanted. If they're not returning back off the bat, ready to offer you what you want, or ready to at least seriously work towards it to see if they can possibly give that to you, do not let it happen. Don't let it happen. I don't let exes return, you know? I made the mistake of letting one return because of how long I knew them and because I thought at some point when we were younger we messed things up, right? We were too young, we were too immature. So I figured many years later as adults, okay, maybe this time we can try again and have a better go at it and see if things will work out. But what I discovered was they were still just as childish as they were back then. I'm the only one who grew up. They expected me to still be the same sweet passive person I was back then, but no. I learned to stand up for myself. They didn't like the way I stood up for myself because they were too sensitive. They couldn't handle somebody standing up to them, you know? Their ego couldn't handle it. Their ego is sensitive. Their ego is easily bruised. But that's not my problem though. That's their problem. But the one thing I learned was, okay, you know what? Some people they never change, you guys. But if somebody comes back claiming they changed, they have to show you that immediate change up front and be ready for whatever it was they were not ready for before. So, ladies and gentlemen, if they didn't want marriage or a commitment before and they return back saying they return back later on, don't just let them return back and you hope that, oh, well, they return back because they remembered that you said you want commitment and marriage. No, people will try you all day and all night. They'll return back and see how far they can get with you and what they can get away with before you realize they're still not there to give you what you wanted before. By then, they don't care. They got what they wanted and they act like they could care less and you can take it or leave it. And they will try to make excuses and say, well, you're actually not this or that. Oh, we're not compatible. They will go out of their way to try to behave in ways to make you not compatible. You know, don't let people come back and test you. Don't let people come back and see what they can get away with before you realize they hadn't changed. If they truly changed, they're going to come back up front with an apology. They're going to come back up front, automatically giving you what you wanted, or at least making a promise that they're going to try. And them making that promise, meaning they're going to actually make the effort, take the steps, walk the walk. Okay? Don't let nobody make you verbal promises. They need to show you something. So maybe they need to come back and be willing to do, couples counseling, couples therapy, marriage counseling if it was a marriage that went bad or something. You know what I'm saying? They need to come back showing you something. They need to come back, like I said, if you wanted marriage and they didn't, they need to come back willing to actually be ready to get engaged, married, something, something. Don't be falling for that. Oh, well, maybe we can, you know, move in together and see how things work. No, they need to come back with that ring. Because at the end of the day, if things really don't work out, nobody's truly going to walk down the aisle if things really don't work out. But there's a thing called counseling, couples therapy, pre-marriage therapy, all kinds of things. If somebody really wants to work it out, but make somebody show you something when if they return back. But in most cases, don't let a person return back. But if they do, they have to show you something. Don't let them return back to you when they feel like they're ready to do so and they don't have anything to offer you and they're not giving you what you wanted. Otherwise, they're just there to use you. You'd be surprised how many people they got bored during the pandemic or they got bored without you in their life because you really was the most interesting person to them. Or they got lonely. Nobody else was willing to put up with their nonsense, or they just couldn't find nobody else because the well eventually starts to dry up. That's what these people don't understand. The well starts to dry up. What they don't understand is when you mess over friendships, when you devalue friendships that were good friendships and devalue good people that were good people, no matter if it was a relationship, a lover, a family member, whatever it was, you will see the well dry up. They will see it dry up. And then they act like they don't understand. Why is the well dried up? Where's all these people that were interested before? Where's all my friends? Where's all my family? Where's all these lovers I had for? The well is drying up because it's a thing called karma, and it's also called God checking them, checking them. God will check you if you mess over people and you continue to do it and you continue to do it. God is not going to keep blessing somebody who keeps taking people for granted and using them and then tossing them, leaving a trail of damaged ass people, excuse my language, behind them without a care or without a concern. These are the same people acting like, oh well, where's all the good singles at? Where's all the good men? Where's all the good women? Where's my friends? I don't got no friends. Where's my family? Oh, my family is treating me some kind of way. These are the same people. They will cry, foul, or act like life has been unfair to them, or they'll act like they don't understand why the well is dried up. Boo, it's called karma. It's called karma. It's also called God setting you straight. Okay? God will set you straight if you play these games out here with people. You got people out here, they're so narcissistic, they think they can do no wrong. And they will convince themselves they can do no wrong. They're the nice guy. They're the nice gal. They're the nice person. Oh, I ain't did nothing. I ain't did nothing. You got people out here, they will say, well, you weren't this, you weren't that. Well, what about the other people? I thought, they seem to be more compatible with you. Why didn't you take them seriously? You know what I'm saying? You have to look at that. Call people out on their stuff. They can't say nothing then, can they? Because at the end of the day, people want to be blameless. People want to be, oh my God, watch out for people that want to be blameless just because it would make them feel bad to admit that they're less than perfect or to admit that they really made a terrible mistake. A good person, a truly nice or good person, is willing to admit, you know what, yeah, I made a mistake and apologize for it and do better. That's what a truly nice or good person would do. A truly nice or good person is not going to sit there and pretend like they didn't do anything wrong and like they can do no harm or do no wrong, especially when you point it out to them. A truly nice or good person, they're going to be considerate enough to hear you out, see where you're coming from. They're not going to dismiss what you're saying or dismiss it automatically. So how long is this video, guys? I don't even know how long this video is. This video's, 49 minutes. Well, guess what? I said what needs to be said because you guys, I'm not just, on here doing tarot readings. I'm not just on here doing spiritual messages. This is also a life coaching channel. And part of that is just me sharing what I know and sharing even, I don't mind even sharing some of my own personal feelings about things or personal experiences. I may not tell you guys directly everything I'm going through because I like to keep some of my life private, but just know that I can relate to to you guys just like anybody else because we're all human and we're all going to go through this to some degree, you know. But also keep in mind, you guys, all of my videos on my channel for the most part are lengthy. So always know to go to the top right hand corner of the screen, click on the speed settings and put on 1.5x or 2x so you can watch the video in half the amount of time and still be able to hear everything. Because have a lot to say. But if you take the time to listen, you're going to gain something out of it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not just running my mouth just to run my mouth. And be honest with you, I don't want you guys to just be, like I said, just watching these tarot readings, but you're not getting any spiritual growth either, or you're not getting some kind of something to help you along your journey in life. We all need that. I have plenty, you guys, I have so many channels that I follow of life coaches that I like. And people, whether they're spiritual people, they could be pastors, they could be literally counselors, psychologists, or just spiritualists. You know what I'm saying? Tons of them. Plenty of them that I follow because we all need guidance. We all need it. Everyone needs it. No one is excluded or exempt from that because we're all here to grow. We're all here to learn. And everybody has issues in their life. Nobody's walking around their life perfect. Even the people who pretend like their life is perfect. Please don't get caught up in Instagram and even these little short videos on YouTube or these YouTube channels or Facebook. Everybody acting like their life is perfect or everything is okay in it. People walking around all day and all night smiling, but on the inside they feel like dying. You know, they feel like crying. They feel sad. They really want to shut out the world, but they can't because they have to keep going. Maybe they have kids. Maybe they got family depend on them. Maybe they got somebody depending on them, or they just feel like they don't know what to do about it or they can't. And that brings me to my final point here. If you ever reach a point where you feel like you've been going through something and people are not caring, that's another sign you should dump them out of your life. Because when you're going through things, let me tell you, that is the true test of a friendship. That is the true test of a family relationship. That is the true test of a relationship, a romantic relationship. If when you're going through stuff, you going through ish, and somebody doesn't have the capacity to care that you're going through anything or to even pay attention and notice or observe that you may be going through something, and they could have known you've been through a lot. They could have known you've been through a whole lot. Or maybe you ain't been going through anything, but suddenly now you are. If they can't even observe and, hey, this person is normally not like this, what's going on with them, and show some concern, or if they know you've been going through something, if they can't show concern, that is a big, doggone sign. Drop them out of your life. What good is a friendship if they don't care about you when it matters? What good is a family relationship if they don't care about you or have your back when you need them? What good is a romantic partner or a lover if they don't care nothing about you except for when they got you with your legs open? And I ain't just talking to women, also talking to the fellas too, because I know you guys be going through this with narcissistic ass women. Excuse my language. All of y'all be out here dealing with somebody narcissistic or somebody who's just cold, callous, they don't care. What good are they if you only feel good with them when y'all got your legs open, but they don't make you feel good any other time and they're not there for you when you truly need them to be? Because they just don't care. They're showing you that. Family, you're not obligated to them if they don't care about you. And if we're talking about your kids, your little kids, this is not for you. We're talking about if you got grown kids and they mistreating you and taking you for granted, you're not obligated to them. Feeling obligated to spoiled grown children will keep those spoiled grown children being spoiled grown children. You got to learn when to cut the cord and cut them off when they mistreating you or they're taking you for granted or they acting entitled. And when it comes down to, like I said, partners or siblings or whatever, y'all grown and they still treat you some kind of way. No, you're not obligated to deal with people like that. In friendships, you're certainly not obligated to deal with a friend if they not really being a real friend. You know what friends are really for? Not just the good times, you guys. Friends are not just for the good times. They are also there for when the chips are down. And if they're not there when the chips are down, oh my gosh, you guys, go. Let them go. Because they're definitely not serving their purpose. That ain't a friend. That's just an acquaintance. That's just somebody who's only there to enjoy your company when all is well and all is good and when everything is fun, but they can't be bothered any other time. Heck, man, let me tell you, I knew it was time to let a friend go when they made a big fuss about the distance they had to drive just to hang out with me. Literally, especially when they knew my situation and my limitations with and to be honest with you, it wasn't that I wasn't willing to go drive far to hang out with them. I was, and I had before. It was more so about the fact that they had more of the ability to do so than I did, and they knew this, and they still was making a big deal about it. And it's also the fact that, heck, they didn't even invite me in some cases to even go hang out with them wherever they were. And I pointed that out to them. So I said, where do you get to make these kind of complaints? And what kind of friend would complain about they drove 45 minutes to hang out with you? You know what I'm saying? And you don't even see them that often? That is not a friend. That's somebody who's literally looking at and counting what they even think you're worth. And when somebody starts doing that, let them go. Let them go. That's not a friend. It's just not. Friendship should be reciprocal, but it definitely should not be somebody looking at if every single time you go to hang out with them, if you meeting exactly 50-50 in distance every single time, you know, unless you hanging out frequently and you really starting to feel that crunch. I don't know. I'm sorry. I just don't see it making sense. You got to make it make sense, you guys. Um, a friend, if they know you going through a bad situation, ain't ever any room for them to act some kind of way with you when they know you're going through something. Because when somebody's going through something, 9 times out of 10, they're going to be acting in unusual ways in the first place, right? Because they're going through something. That's when your friend is supposed to have more patience with you. Yeah, they're human too. They could be going through something. But clearly, if they know you're the one who's really going through it and they're really not, there's no reason for them to be acting like they can't have better patience. If they do start acting like, oh, they ain't got the time or they don't have the capacity to care about what you're going through or to be more sensitive towards you, let that go. That's not a friend. That's somebody who's only there when everything is times and they don't have to do much, not even show you support, you know? So, same thing with same ooh, same thing with family. Like you got to start holding people accountable to the roles they play in your life. If they're not playing the role that they're supposed to in your life, then they do not belong in that role. Do not let people linger around in your life if they're not offering you anything. Not lovers, not friends, not family. Let them go. Otherwise, they're just lingering around to be opportunists. Only when they see you got something good to offer them, but they not interested in offering you anything. Please don't let people like that linger around in your life. I saw somebody like that. Didn't take me seriously, but then the moment they realized what I had going for me, all of a sudden they want to linger around in my life, but they weren't offering me anything. In fact, they tried to pretend like they had something to offer, but I knew better that they didn't. I said, no, bye. And I meant it. They ain't got nothing to offer me. something really, that something that I really value, so not something I really want, bye. And they may not ever get that opportunity or chance again because I don't think I'm willing to give it because that's my time, that's my energy. People don't deserve to keep getting chances in and out of my situation or yours. So I'm going to end this right here because I got to go to the bathroom now, y'all. So be blessed. Check out all my other channels and comment. Peace. Okay, so how do I end this right now? Oh, there we go.